saw a house that you loved, you made an offer, the offer got accepted, congratulations. But then one day you realize you're making a big mistake. If you're in that situation, I feel so sorry, because that happens, and I actually have been in that situation, and it's nerve-wracking. Is there a way to get out of it? Can you pull out of the deal? And if you already closed on the house, is there a way out? Can you get a refund for that house? The short and definite answer is, it depends. Let's start from the beginning. You made an offer, you also gave a deposit with the offer. In the offer, your agent included some contingencies, and those contingencies are your way out. So number one is inspection contingency. So if you did an inspection and some major issues came up, you can pull out and get a refund and get your deposit back. And you have the financing contingency. That means that if the lender doesn't give you a loan, you can walk away. Let's say one of you lost their job. The lender says, I'm sorry, I cannot give you a loan anymore. In that case, you can pull out and get a total refund for whatever you paid. The next thing is the appraisal contingency. Again, in the offer, I always write, in case the appraisal comes lower than the agreed price, the buyer has the right to walk away and get the refund. So sometimes the price is lower than agreed price. You get refund, and that's another way to return the house, basically. By the way, if you're moving to Massachusetts and you need an agent, reach out to me. I cover Boston and close suburbs, but I can refer you to another agent in different parts of Massachusetts or throughout the US, actually. If you buy a house that has a seller's disclosure, you need time to review it. And sometimes that seller's disclosure is given to you after the offer got accepted and everything is signed. You have time to review that seller's disclosure, and if there is something that you don't like, you have the right to back out and get your deposit back. There might be some things that you were not aware of when you were signing that offer documentation. The next one is title issues. Now, the house has to have a clear title in order for you to buy the house. What is a clear title is when the homeowner, during his ownership, he hired a contractor who did a major work, and then the seller didn't pay them. The contractor can put a lien on the house, and in that case, the house doesn't have a clear title. The other issue might be that long lost relative appears and says that he or she has a part ownership in the house. It's in the documentations, and the attorneys work on figuring out if the house has a clear title or not. So in the transaction, you already applied for mortgage and some time has passed, and suddenly it turns out that the house doesn't have a clear title. If that happens, you have another way out. If the house is in an HOA, homeowners association, you have the right and you should review the HOA documents. Now, sometimes in Massachusetts, single families in an HOA is not that common. I know in Texas and some other states, it is very common to have a single family in an HOA. So you can terminate the contract if something in an HOA is not to your liking and you weren't informed about it. So there is a cooling off period for new construction homes in some states. So you have 3 to 6 days after you sign the purchase agreement when you can change your mind and decide you don't want to buy a house. That's another way to get out of that transaction. When you already signed the documents, your choices are more limited. If you simply dislike the house because you didn't realize it doesn't serve the purposes, maybe it's too small or you need another room, maybe you want to do an addition. If it's financing issues, you might want to refinance with better terms when the time comes, when interest rates are better. So in extreme cases, you might have a case to sue the seller for misrepresentation. Now watch my video about what type of houses to buy so that you don't regret your purchase.